would you both just say and spell your names again and tell me your year in school and then your association with the student association?
Okay. My name is Ikeotuonye. That's Ikeennna. Last name is Ikeotuonye. I'm currently serving as the Executive Vice President for the Howard University Student Association.
Okay.
And my name is Khalil Saadiq. First name is Khalil, last name Saadiq. I'm a sophomore economics major, business minor from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm currently serving as a director of student advocacy for the Howard University Student Association.
From Birmingham, huh?
Birmingham.
Okay, so let's start with you. Where did this idea come from?
Well, you know, I was observing the social media and the media in general that was circulating around the incident that occurred in St. Louis with Mike Brown, and you know, it seemed to be unfair that the media was taking a community that was hurt. You know, they lost a brother, a son, a friend, and they were grieving, and they were acting out because of their grievances. And it seems as if the community in Ferguson was being put on trial by the media. Their actions were actually being villainized, and I just knew that there needed to be some positive media circulating around what's going on. So we needed to come up with something that was, you know, positive, profound, and very peaceful.
And the idea, if I was gunned down, is it sort of connected to that sort of hashtag and the idea that, you know, anyone individually could be, because what the professor was saying is your photograph shows the power of a group of students with the Howard name and the difference the way that may be perceived versus the way an individual may be perceived.
Right.
Was that in your thinking, or how did you come up with your idea?
It was actually more so connected to the stance that we took. You know, anywhere else that you go, if you see an individual in this pose, and it means that they've agreed to submit to the will of the authority that's addressing them, and it's almost the least dangerous an individual can be. And for him to have shot not one, not two, but 8 to 10 times standing in this pose when he was surrendering, it's just very significant. It signifies that, you know, because of our social status or the amount of pigment that we have, that even our innocence can be lethal. So that was where the pose and the photography came from.
So the idea came to you just sort of going through Twitter one day, and then what day did you come up with the idea, and how quickly did you turn it all around?
If I'm not mistaken, the meeting was Wednesday. So we came up with the idea Wednesday. And I got the idea, I talked about it for a little bit with my suite mate, and then I called Ikenna, and he was like, you know, this seems like something that we can definitely do. So we talked about it some more, hashed out details, and then we went and spoke with the coordinator of the meeting. So we spoke with him, and he immediately latched onto the idea, and he said that we would be speaking before the meeting began. So we already had a group of students assembled, and he just gave us the microphone.
What was the meeting? How many students were there? What years were they, and what did you say to them?
Okay, so the meeting was actually for the freshman move-in crew. All the students on campus were sophomores to seniors helping out with the freshman move-in. So we were meeting the day before they got here. And there were about 250 to 300 students at the meeting. And we just explained to them, you know, pretty much what I explained to you, you know, how there needed to be some positive media circulating, and how, you know, because of our status, every day when we leave our homes, we're guilty until proven innocent. And there has to be something done about that. So we actually gave the student body that was present the opportunity to opt out of the photograph. And, you know, everyone stood up, and we thought that we would see stragglers leaving, but instead, everyone kind of surged to the middle of the auditorium and struck the pose so that they could be included. No one opted out.
Not one person?
Not one person.
So you were behind
the lens.
The lens,
right.
Which, I mean, you get goosebumps when you see them come together. Tell me what it was like to be where you were.
I think that definitely for me it was a mix between electricity and like reverence, if you will. You could just tell, like, people were talking before, laughing. You know, it was everybody having their own side conversations. But as soon as we told them exactly what we're trying to do and explained to them with the hands up, you know, the most innocent pose any civilian can be when you know, dealing with the police, that pose, and we explained that to the students, it's just the whole crowd got silent. You could feel like the spirit of, you know, Stokely Carmichael and everybody like that just wave over the crowd, and just the reverence for Mike Brown's family and his friends. And people just thought that, I feel like people felt like it was their friend who got gunned down.
How many people were there, and how did you frame it up? How many shots did you have to take? Was it one and done? What happened?
It was like Khalil said, it was around 250 to 300 students. We just had everybody moved. Crampton's pretty big, the auditorium's pretty big, so there was some people in the side and the back. We had everybody move to the central middle area so I could fit in the camera lens. It took me about 6-7 shots to get a decent shot that we could use, that I can edit and put on social media.
When you looked down at the one that you knew was the right one, what made it the one?
I saw the faces in the front row, and everybody just had that. It wasn't like people weren't really smiling. We had a couple smilers, you know, people gonna smile in the camera, but most people's faces were, you know, just no expression. Like, we're serious. Like, we're here and we're serious. So so I knew it was the right one.
What sort of experience do you have with photography? Because that's not what you're looking to do professionally, but people are calling this already, and it's been. What day did you put it out?
Wednesday night.
Who uploaded it for, or who?
I mean, we all put it out. I think you put it out first.
Yeah, I was the first one to upload it.
And so, how many times has it been retweeted and shared, and what?
Countless. I've literally seen it on every media outlet, on different people, celebrities, Instagrams, different media outlets, just different like that. So I can't really count a number as to like a number count as how many posts it's got, how many likes it's got, but it's that Wednesday night alone, it literally flooded my timeline of the picture.
What is that like?
For me, it was humbling. I think that it was very well deserved. I'm very happy the picture got out there the way it did. I mean, at the time it did as well, and it was just a humbling experience to be able to organize students behind this picture.
People are saying it's being called iconic. I mean, it's really, it has this ability, I think, to be, when people talk about Ferguson, this photo is going to be there.
And that's critical, because the attention is long overdue. It's long overdue that you would have a student body that we're so closely involved with the situation, even though we're removed from it, because of the demographic that we share. And it's really peculiar to, I think, the demographic of students that's in college right now, because when the Trayvon Martin incident occurred, we were all around that same age. That was right before it was time for me to go high school, so I felt it. And then here we have Mike Brown, who was about to start college, and we were at the meeting preparing to move in our incoming freshman.
Right.
He was about to start school the Monday after the weekend he was slain. So I think that our goal initially was to include the student population and to make everyone feel as if they were an advocate, so that we can have active students ready to participate. But the fact that entertainers and all these media outlets decided to latch onto it, I think that was what should have been happening in the beginning.
Did this exceed your goal of what you had thought, or was this what you were hoping?
It did what we wanted it to do, just on a much larger scale than what we anticipated.
You see different universities doing the same thing now. It's kind of started a trend, if you will, of the hands up, don't shoot pose. You see Harvard University posting it, Coppin State, different universities posting it. So, we didn't expect it to gain this much steam behind it, but definitely I'm glad it did.
And the hands up was your idea?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you think about other things too, or you knew that was the pose?
It had to be the one. When you figure out that his life was taken in that position, and I don't know that people have really solidified how impactful that is, but if you're confronted with an officer of the law with a weapon raised, that's the only thing you do. And the fact that was everyone's instinctive reaction to having a gun raised them, and his life was taken in that position, we needed to solidify that. People needed to face the reality of how the situation actually unfolded.
Right.
Are you proud of yourselves?
I mean, I'm proud of our university.
Because?
Like he said, not one person opted out. Everybody stood strong. Everybody stood up still, put their hands up in the hands up, don't shoot position. And like I said, you could feel the electricity in the air and the need and the want for students to get behind this movement.
Last question: what did you think about social media and the ability that it has to take an idea that you have sitting in front of your computer and blow it up to something that literally the whole world sees?
I feel like the thing about social media that makes it so powerful is the fact that it's just raw. You can feel that the idea came right from the students straight to the rest of the world. I can recall a particular instance when I was watching the footage of what happened to Eric Garner, and I watched the event occur from when the police, initially were hassling him to when they took his life, and that's not been in any news outlets. The whole video has yet to be played, and you won't see it if you watch the news. But on social media, you have access to that. You're getting right to what the issues actually are, and to be a part of that in a positive way and spreading positivity instead of the horror that we've been faced with, it's incredible.
For me personally, I think social media. I'm of mind that our generation is big on the hashtag movement. So we post a picture and we hashtag it. Justice for Trayvon Martin, justice for Jordan Davis, justice for Eric Garner. I don't want this to be a hashtag. I don't want this movement to die with the hashtag. Oftentimes you see the movement going for a couple weeks. The Bring Back Our Girls movement, the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, it died off in a month. So this RIP of Mike Brown, this hands up don't shoot, needs to be an ongoing effort. This is only step one. This picture was only step one, only phase one of the movement. So I just don't want it to die with the hashtag.
Is there anything else you want to say I didn't ask? No, it was good, guys. Really good.